Hey guys, and welcome to today's video where we will be discovering how to 3D track text or anything for that matter to other objects. For example, this text that is floating next to me and is being tracked to my clothes. So to get this effect started, or well, not effect but rather to learn to 3D track, we're gonna head over to the Fusion tab and remember the topmost clip that is visible to your playhead, as in hovering over, that is the clip that will be opened in the Fusion tab. To start now, we've headed over to the Fusion tab. It's at the bottom just to the right hand side of the Edit tab. Now you will see two nodes, media in and media out. This is like the basis of all Fusion, and they'll basically just be where your video originates from and what is outputted to your timeline. So we will be tracking something or someone. So if you press Control Space, this is the shortcut to search for all the nodes available. And when you type in tracker, you will have three options: a camera track that is only available in the studio version of Davinci Resolve. So this effect is fully free because we won't be using the camera track in this video. And we will add there will be a planar track and a point track. You will be selecting the planar track option. Basically, the difference is the one tracks a point and the other one tracks a plane, as you will see when we start delving into the stuff. This planar tracker will be added between your media in and media out node. So therefore drag the media in node, that output to the input, the orange arrow on your planar tracker, and then drag the output of your planar tracker to the output of your media out. Still simple enough. Now the trickier part is you want to figure out where your tracking wants to start and go to that point in your clip. There's a timeline just below your preview window. Once you're there, go to the Inspector tab. It's on the right hand side. When you click on the planar tracker, all your options and stuff will appear for the planar tracker. You will set your start point right at the top of the Inspector tab. This is basically saying, I want you to start tracking here. Now that you set your start point, you want to select the thing you want to track. For me, it's easy. I tracked my beautiful jacket with lots of tracking points available. So basically I just lined out my jacket, and this doesn't have to be that specific or precise at least, but just be sure not to exceed it, but rather stay within the boundaries. So there's a few options. You can select how much. The first option is points. We will leave it at points because we want to track a few points in the plane. Okay, next, below the point option, there's a perspective. I track the full perspective, and you need to experiment a bit and see how much data you have when tracking. So you can select between like position and rotation, position, rotation and shear, and then perspective. From the top, you will have the least amount of tracking data, but it will be the easier for your system to track. And then going down, the difficulty will increase, but the accuracy will also increase. For me, it's a fairly easy track, therefore I used perspective to have the most accurate track of my object. Now that you have drawn out your plane that you want to track and select your appropriate accuracy, there's a start button, there's a play button with a completely drawn inline and a play button without a line. The first one is only tracking a single frame forward, and the other one is tracking until the end. For me, because it's an easy track, I can just track to the end, but if you can always start with tracking to the end and see if your tracking fails or something, you can go back to that frame and readjust your plane to match your original one, and then complete your tracking onward. And basically you iteratively do that until you have the whole part you want your tracking to happen. So now that we basically tracked our object, we want to get that data from the tracker. And we will be doing this by selecting Create Planar Transform option, the last option in your Inspector tab. This will create a new node that holds all of the tracking data we just tracked, and we will use this to transform our whatever we want to track onto our other object. So now you can take the output of the planar transform node and merge it with your main node tree. You can delete the planar tracker, but I recommend you keep it because you can always tweak it, and then you don't need to make a new planar transform node from your new planar tracker. I will be tracking text, but this part is pretty much where the effects or technique is completed, and everything that comes after this is basically personal preference. So I will be tracking text, so I add the text node, added it into the input of the planar transform node, the new one we just created, and this will basically move that text appropriately. Now I can scale my text, move it wherever I want it, and the planar transform will do its job and move it appropriately, and that's all. So that's everything done. So if you enjoyed the video, be sure to subscribe, and if you subscribe, be sure to like it. Thanks for watching. See you guys in the next video. Goodbye.